What's up, YouTube? This is Bat Crescent 068 for Grim Crescent Productions, coming to you today with some Madden NFL 15 gameplay and commentary for the PS4. Now, I pre-ordered this game, I picked it up today, and it's pretty good. I haven't played a lot with it, so I don't want to give my final verdict yet, because I've only played 2 games. But I wanted to upload a first impressions video just so I could share with you my thoughts on the game, some of my opinions on the new features and stuff like that, and so that you guys could see the game in motion, not some fancy, highly edited gameplay trailer released by EA Sports designed to make the game look good, but some legitimate, just straight gameplay. This is captured with an Elgato Game Capture HD, taken straight from a PS4. And I played a game. I'm playing as the Panthers, and I'm going up against the Steelers. And, well, I tried to do this commentary live, but let's see what happened with that. What? As you can tell, didn't go so well, and I rage quitted. But I started playing on All Pro, and that was too much because the game is a lot different this year. Not necessarily control-wise, but just the way you play. It feels a lot different. It feels a lot more like a real NFL game. Doesn't feel as much like Madden, but I'll get to that later. But now I'm playing on the Pro difficulty, and I should have done that from the start. But in case you're new to the channel, my favorite team is the Carolina Panthers, so I'm playing as them, and I'm going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are their final preseason opponent for this year. And as you can see, the presentation is phenomenal. It's kind of a combination of a lot of different TV presentations of the NFL. It's a heavy dose of NFL Network and a heavy dose of CBS. Those two combined really make up a lot of it. A touch of ESPN, I think, in like the first down markers and stuff like that. I could be wrong. That could be NFL Network too. I don't get ESPN, so I don't really know. But it looks really good. It looks 10 times better than Madden 25 on the PS4. It looks so much better. I cannot emphasize that enough. It truly looks like another generation of consoles. I mean, no. Does it look good as Last of Us Remastered or Infamous Second Son? Absolutely not. It comes nowhere near those games. But it truly feels like a definitive upgrade over the last gen, which Madden 25 on PS4 didn't really. But gameplay features, as you can tell, there's a new feature which allows you to view, when you're playing defense, view the field from basically the defensive equivalent of the offensive camera, which I really like. It makes tackling easier. One thing I don't like is the play calling system. I haven't gotten used to it, but the way it's very cumbersome to switch between playbooks, and the Madden 25 system, which was like all the other Maddens, was so good. I'm not quite used to this one yet, so I might like it later, but in my opinion, it's not phenomenal. But as you can see, they completely redesigned play on the line. Defense in general is totally different, but play on the line, now you mash face buttons to break free of the tackle as opposed to move the right stick, which I love so much, because no longer do you have those plays where you can't tell if your defender blew by the offensive lineman assigned to him on his own, or you have to do it, and so he blows by him on his own, and you end up just tackling because the right stick is also used to tackle. I hated that mechanic, and I'm so glad they changed it. That's one thing this game does infinitely better. But one of the ways it is not as good is play calling and hot routes, which you'll see later. Hot routes are terrible in this game that I've experienced thus far. They're laggy. It's delayed. When you enter them, it's delayed. And Madden 25 was so tight on their hot routes. I mean, it was instantaneous, and I loved that. This one, you have to wait a second, and it's very distracting. So I don't really like that. But as you can see, in motion, it looks a lot better. And that last throw by Roethlisberger demonstrates a new mechanic that I am not a fan of at all. because as you see it again, because it makes quarterbacks throw inaccurate every once in a while. And while that's true to real life, that is going to be a pain in the neck online when you're in a tight game and then your quarterback, I mean, games could possibly be decided by errant throws, which is just ridiculous. I don't like that mechanic at all. But the rest of the game, I mean, I've played about 2 hours at this point, so it's a bit too early to give my final verdict on the game, or even really an informed opinion. I mean, I can give you an informed opinion, but it's not going to be as well-rounded as when I put a lot of time into the game. You can switch camera views. You have a lot more options, and you can switch them in-game now, which I like. I like that you don't have to go into the menu to switch the camera views. As you can see, you know, play art's still the same, stuff like that. I mean, it still feels like Madden, it plays more like a real NFL game. As you can see, that Panthers offensive line, I'm worried about that in real life, and it gave way. And this Steelers team has a good defensive line as well. So they got good pressure that time and sacked me. But it's a very Rick Ross down, if you saw that, 2nd and 22. If it wasn't for copyright issues, I'd put part of hustling on there, but sadly I can't. So YouTube, every day I'm hustling, or it's actually hustling, and I'll break in my Rick Ross promotion to say the Steelers got a safety. That was a good play call by the CPU there, and they got a safety. So I punt it. It's a bad punt because I'm still used to all-pro kicking. They return it a little bit. So I'm back on defense, and you know, if you've been keeping up with the news surrounding Madden, you've probably heard a lot about defense. Is a nice sack right there by Roman Harper, which I hope he does that a lot in real life. But you've probably heard a lot about how they've revised the defense this year and made it tighter. It really does play a lot better. As I said, it's too early to get a definitive feel for it because I probably put at least 60 hours into Madden 25 over both generations. Maybe more than that. So it's going to take me a bit more time to get used to it than just 2 games. But it feels, from what I can tell, it feels better. Your player moves more fluidly. It's not so on rails. Kind of feels like you're moving a marionette or something, which it kind of felt like in the past. And it feels better. The line play, the defensive line, as you see, I tried to play on the defensive line a bit so y'all could see how that works, and it's infinitely better. You basically press R2 or right trigger on Xbox One to get a jump on the ball, and then you press a face button to break free. So right here, we're on offense. Williams goes nowhere. Palomalu comes in unblocked, completely unblocked. So I audible, and then I throw. Had he been faster, he would have burned him, but that was a bad decision by me. You need to know your receiver's limits, and I didn't do that time. So a nice interception for the Steelers, and they're playing on offense now. But they haven't had much success, so this Panthers defense is still really good. Now, in terms of teams, I've only played as the Panthers. I've played them for both games, or I played as them as both games. And so Panthers fans, we're okay this year. Once again, we're kind of underrated as always. They're okay. Defensively, they're great as they score a touchdown, but offensively, they're not so good, which I hope is not a harbinger of what's to come for this season, because that would be awful. But anyway, so they score. They're up 9-0. I got a minute 35 to score, though, so I'm confident in my ability. I've done a lot of 2-minute drives over the years, and, well, shoot, just in Madden 25, but especially over the years since Madden 06 or whenever. Yeah, 06 or something like that. So I'm just trying to move down the field, and I'm trying to get a feel of kind of what plays work and what plays don't work, because obviously, you know, certain plays just work in Madden, you know what I'm saying? like last year. And that was a beautiful throwing catch to Kelvin Benjamin. I hope to see that in real life. But, you know, some plays just work. Like edge sting last year in Madden defensively. I mean, that was just a wonderful play. So I'm trying to find the edge stings of both defense and offense and stuff like that. So stupid move by me here. I call a timeout, but I get the quarterback draw with Cam Newton, so it doesn't matter. And I want you to pay attention to this celebration. That was amazing for two reasons. First of all, they got a Superman, and he didn't look like a complete fool doing it, which no other Madden has been able to accomplish. Also, if you notice, there was one camera angle where he was obscured, and then they cut to another camera angle to show the Superman tug, so they wouldn't, or the Superman pull, so they wouldn't be obscured by the two offensive linemen. That is so much like real life. It's insane. That's really cool. I heard they put NFL films to work, helping them with it, and you can definitely see the results. So here we have the halftime show. I try not to be this guy, but ESPN NFL 2K5's halftime show is better. In the game I rage quit about, they said I was playing against the 49ers to avenge the playoff loss. In reality, they just beat me again, even worse than they did the real Panthers in the playoffs. But they said, even though I had 3 turnovers, and I think the 49ers might have had 1, they were like, the 49ers are lucky to be in this game after so many turnovers. So the halftime show, it's cool and it looks good, but the information's wrong. And a nice play. And this ticked me off, right? So I tried to juke to go out of bounds, but Kelvin Benjamin took a big old step to the right. I mean, look at this. He's just, woof, I'm not going to go out of bounds. And then Polamalu licks him. So that kind of irked me, but what are you going to do? Stuff like that happens. So here, he kind of gets a little bit of baloney catch between 2 defenders, in my opinion, but Kelvin Benjamin had an even more baloney catch earlier, so I'm not complaining at all.
Lines up here, 2nd and goal at the 2. Picked up a couple.
So right here, as you can tell, defense just feels good. You know what I'm saying? It just feels better. It feels like a real NFL game on the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball. The downside of that is it's a lot harder to play offense, which is cool, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because offense was always so fun in the other games. I don't know. I have to get used to it. But so right here, we pass to D'Angelo Williams. 3rd and 2 now. Hand off to D'Angelo Williams. He gets stuffed. I decide to punt. And so it's the 4th now. They're just trying to run the clock out. They had tremendous success running the ball last time. So I really need to try to stop them here if I can. And right there, a nice tackle. I was coming in with I was going to have a massive hit. And so right here, I changed the camera back to the normal perspective just so you guys could see the difference. And it's pretty different. I love the fact that you can change between the two in-game without going to any menus. That's so awesome. So right here, they convert. It was, 3rd and inches. You're not going to stop Le'Veon Bell at 3rd and inches. So 2nd and 9. Right here, I should have been calling timeouts. I'm going to say I wanted to put on a bigger show and show you that I could beat these guys. But in all honesty, I was completely oblivious and I was not paying attention. But so, 27 seconds. 26 seconds to move the ball 70 yards. That's going to be difficult. I've played one game. I've never been in a 2-minute situation, let alone a 30-second situation. But I have 2 timeouts, so I'm pretty calm. I'm showing this in its entirety because it's an interesting drive. I'll just leave it at that. But so 1st and 10 here, I'm kind of looking around to see. I just want to see what works. And thankfully, Square, which is Cotchery, I want to say. I can't really tell who it is. But Square gets wide open, which is huge. It's a nice first down. I'm so glad about that. But that took 10 seconds off the clock, practically. But that was a nice gain that really helped. And that was just a simple a simple slant route, which still works very, very well in this game, as far as I could tell. So this way, I'm running verticals, I think is the name of the play. I throw it up, and I'm extremely lucky it wasn't picked off. Olsen was ridiculously covered. That was a very bad play on my part. I'm honestly very lucky it wasn't picked off. But so, you know, 2nd and 10 now. 14 seconds to go. I'm feeling the pressure, because the pressure's amplified. I'm not going to lie. It's amplified when you're recording. And you think, you know, it's amplified. If I lose, you know, I'm going to lose in front of everybody, and I throw it deep, and it's deep, and he pulls a cheesy break and tackle, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. As much as I was screaming about the last game, that clip you heard, that same volume, that same excitement about this game, except in a happy way. I could not believe I got it, and then he just shook off the tackle. I was crossing my fingers on that one, and thankfully, my fingers didn't let me down. So right here, I'm kind of debating. Going for 2 makes more sense, because if I kick the field goal, it's a 2-point game. So a safety will tie it. Field goal will win it. If I score the 2-point conversion, the field goal will still win it. I guess the safety would win it, but I'm not getting the ball back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I throw on the run, which on the run throwing is vastly improved this year. I like that. It's much more accurate. So I do like that, because I feel like quarterbacks, even though I haven't played as them, like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, will be more accurate in the pocket and have less errant throws. But quarterbacks like Cam Newton and Russell Wilson will have more accuracy on the run than Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. But anyway, that is the game, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments your opinion of Madden 15, whether or not you will be picking it up. Please let me know if you liked the video. If you did like the video, please like the video. Please comment the video with whatever you want to comment. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll leave you to watch the little montage that they came up with post-play stuff. Have a wonderful day.